My name is Mark Carney, leader of the Liberal Party of Canada.
And my name is Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. We're completely different.
As you can see, my tie is red.
And my tie is blue.
I'm indoctrinated by neoliberal economic theory full of falsehoods.
Whereas I indoctrinate voters with falsehoods about neoliberal economic theory.
My party is run by the elite, for the elite.
My party is the opposite. It's run for the elite, by the elite.
My policies will further enrich the elite by increasing corporate profits.
Instead, my policies will enrich corporations to increase the profits of the elite.
I care about climate change, despite my policies telling a different story.
Unlike him, I care about my policies that ignore the climate change story.
Despite how few people have capital from which to profit, I cut the capital gains inclusion rate so the wealthy can enjoy more tax-free unearned income.
I voted against raising the capital gains inclusion rate in the first place, and even though less and less people have any money to save, I will expand the TFSA limit so the wealthy can enjoy more tax-free unearned income.
I'm backed by multimillionaires and billionaires, like the Irvings, Desmarais, and Bronfmans.
Such an elitist. I'm only backed by lesser millionaires, like the Semples and Sinemans.
We depend on fear of the cons to elect us.
Whereas we depend on fear of the libs to elect us. Totally opposite.
We started neoliberalism under Pierre Trudeau when we cut corporate tax rates, instituted wage and price controls, and began monetarism.
Well, we took it further with Mulroney's privatizations to enrich Bay Street and started defunding public housing.
That's nothing. Chrétien's cuts killed all federal funding for public housing, and we slashed the entire budget 25% to appease Bay Street.
Pathetic. Harper increased deregulation, contracting out of federal work, privatized services at national parks, and expanded P3s.
So what? Justin came in and started the CIB, an entire crown corporation dedicated to using P3s to enrich investors. And when no one in the private sector wanted to buy the Trans Mountain Pipeline, Justin bought it for them, overpaying by $1 billion, and now it has cost $37 billion, just to prop up the highest emissions and lowest return on investment oil sands.
As if Harper wasn't the most friendly to the oil sands. We abandoned the Kyoto Agreement, cut environmental reviews and eliminated environmental laws, and set up subsidies like the ACCA and indirect subsidies in the form of tax breaks.
And even when the public complained, Justin kept those oil sands subsidies going.
We wrote the book on eroding democracy, with the In-N-Out scandal with charges of election fraud and the robocall scandal to suppress voters.
We would never assault democracy. Instead, we eroded faith in democracy by lying about electoral reform to steal votes from progressives afraid of Harper.
We muzzled our scientists because we didn't like their conclusions on the environment and climate change.
And then we unmuzzled them and ignored their conclusions.
We supported right-to-work legislation to undermine unions and expand the temporary foreign worker program to depress wages and accelerate unemployment.
We went an entirely different direction, using back-to-work legislation to preempt strikes, and loosened the TFW program until it got so bad we had to reduce it.
We will increase military spending to appease NATO. We will shrink public spending. Our MPs have investments in tax havens. We will cut GST on new homes. We will continue the tariff battle with the U.S. despite its impact on consumers. We will cut the carbon tax. We will pay lip service to our Indigenous peoples with things like the murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls inquiry, while doing nothing to improve the plight of Indigenous peoples in Canada and continue to fight their rights at every turn in the courts. We have blind and unwavering support for Israel, no matter how many war crimes they commit in their genocide of the Palestinians. Jinx! Jinx again!
We are completely different.
Yes, completely different.
The Liberals and Conservatives are just two sides of the neoliberal coin, each taking turns dismantling Canada for corporate gain. The leader of the party is just a mask. It is the history of their policies that reveals they are there to maintain the status quo for the wealthy elite. Isn't it time we end electoral whiplash and get off the LibCon merry-go-round? You can't vote for change unless you change your vote. Let's end the false majorities and vote for electoral reform. It's time to change, Canada.